Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of the Anipop Podcast. I am your host, Jaden Day Zero, and with me are your fantastic co-host, Marutsuki and the Lucky Duelist. How are you guys this week?
I'm doing
Great.
I'm doing good.
Someone's piped up.
I'm doing good. I'm excited for 2022.
Wait. What?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to 2022 because 2021 is meh.
Already? It just
But
started.
next year we get Pokemon Breath of the Wild, and I'm looking forward to that.
Bruh, yeah, no kidding. I think it's going to turn out to be mediocre, in my opinion.
Yeah, it'll probably. I mean, it's going to be better than the other games they revealed, but
Yeah.
it's something new, so I'm excited.
Yes.
Other than that, I'm doing okay. I'm looking forward to another episode of the podcast.
Me too. I mean, the week's been pretty alright so far, in my opinion, I think. But honestly, it'd be nicer if it were the weekend. And it'd be nicer if I didn't have to go to work every day at 8 in the morning. But, you know, that's
Oof.
alright. Yeah. But, yes. I don't know. I'm just looking forward to all the good stuff that we're going to be talking about. So, yeah. How are you, Jay?
I am doing all right. I think I have my shit together this week, so that's good.
You think?
Yeah, I think I don't know because I have a couple of I have to edit a couple of things, and I guess we'll see how that goes. But other than that, I mean, I'm doing pretty good. I think it's kind of getting warmer too, so that's good.
Dude, yes. Oh my goodness. I was so excited about that. Except that I got too excited that I wore a skirt, and my poor legs were like kind of freezing afterwards. So.
Oof.
Man, I hate when I wear skirts and that happens.
Yeah, I bet, Becky. But speaking of skirts, this week we are talking about romance animation, which has anime girls with skirts in it. So
okay, so it works out.
Yeah, isn't that such a great transition?
It is well done.
Yeah,
I'm pretty proud of myself.
Well, I mean, what would you say is the best romance anime, or at least one that is your favorite?
Definitive. I'd say because no one else's opinion matters at this point. But my opinion is, the fact is that School Rumble is probably the best romance anime out of everything in existence.
According to my anime list, it's Clannad, but I've never Clannad After Story.
Okay. I had
never seen that.
I had that in the back of my head too. But I was like, what's better, Clannad for the good plot and makes me cry, or how dumb School Rumble is and how funny that is? And I think School Rumble kind of takes it a bit.
Oh.
I've never actually seen Clannad. So the next best thing is Your Name on my anime list, which has the same score. So I don't know. It's a movie, so it's hard to compare to.
I don't know, dude. Like Your Name, I think the only good thing about that is that the animation is good. It looks fantastic and gorgeous. But in terms of story, I put it down like a couple points. So I can't compare it to, you can't compare that to Clannad, because Clannad has such a good story, and the way they introduce their characters and build up character development and stuff, it just pulls your heartstrings so much that it hits you emotionally. And Your Name doesn't really do that at all with its characters. Like I guess it's sad that I don't know, the girls from like
the
past or something. I don't know if that's sad or not, but it looks pretty cool.
Sad because she's from Japan.
It's sad because she's dead, and then she comes back to life, and then
I guess so. So I don't know, but to me, it was an entertaining movie, but not the best. I don't know if you can compare that to Clannad. I think Your Name is just that high up on the list just because it looks good.
Yeah.
and it's Makoto Shinkai. So, and he's pretty popular.
Anything he does will be good.
Yeah,
I'd have to agree with you.
I don't know about
The
that.
art is great.
I'm yet to see a film he's done that I don't like. So
True, but in terms of like story quality, I think the best one he's done is Weathering with You. I actually like that over Your Name because it's has so much stuff to it.
I'm scared to watch it, honestly.
What, Weathering with You?
Yeah.
You're scared to watch it?
Yeah.
Why?
Gonna get emotional.
Bruh. I wouldn't say you'd get emotional with it, honestly. Like, at least for me, I didn't really like tear up or anything. It's entertaining for sure. But I like personally for me, I didn't really tear up compared to like clannad. I freaking cried like
Bro, no kidding, dude.
Let's not talk about that, okay? I don't know what triggers it. It just makes me so sad.
Yeah, no kidding.
So,
yeah. And like, I don't know. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Sorry. There's a point I wanted to sort of ask your guys' opinions of when it comes to romance, and that's like, do you prefer in shows when romance is the main plot or when it's like a side plot? So, like, for example, you have, for example, My Love Story is the base of the.
I thought you were gonna say My Hero. I was like, bruh.
Yeah, My Hero 2 is all about All Might loving Deku. No,
yeah,
no, My Love Story is about this big guy, and this average sized girl, and they go out and stuff.
Yeah,
and that's like the main point of that show. Or there's something where it's more of like a side thing. Like, I can't really think of an example, but like where there's a romance involved, but it's more of a it's not the main focus. What I prefer it when it's a side focus, but what about you guys?
I think it really depends on how it's executed. Like for My Love Story, like personally for me, I usually don't really like the romance part because there's always like drama included into it. And like what I like about My Love Story is the way that they executed it to make it like super sweet. And like, even though like, honestly, I can't remember the names of the characters because it's been so long. But honestly, like for the really tall guy, like he felt like scared and like afraid that she didn't like him because like everyone was so afraid of him and things like that. And he would question himself because he's like, well, how come she doesn't like my best friend? He's like super handsome and all the girls want to date him and blah blah. But like I love the fact that they made his friend be like this supportive character to make them both see that they both really care for each other and that they both are meant to be together because, like, even though they're both kind of like afraid of like doing something wrong or like thinking that, oh, maybe like they don't like me or something like that. He's there to like support them and like, like let them see that they really both care for each other and stuff like that. And I don't know. And like in My Love Story, I never really saw any like drama in there. It was more just like very wholesome stuff and like more of like the characters themselves realizing that they shouldn't be afraid to kind of like be themselves or to like show who they are and things like that because the person that they're with will love them anyways. And like I think it's a very sweet story, and I think it's like a great romance story because it doesn't focus on the drama. It focuses on like building the relationship and having them both see, like that they actually care for each other.
I think it's very good. It's a good thing that they actually straight away. I'm pretty sure the author who made this My Love Story is probably ingenious because they pretty much strayed away from the norm where it's this beautiful guy or pretty boy and stuff falls in love with the loser girl in school or something, or the student council or whatever dumb cliche romance stuff that happens in romance shows. I really love how it's like very unique in its own way, where it's like this gorilla guy looking guy who's like you would think he'd be like you think he'd be like some, I don't know, bully or delinquent or something like that at first glance,
Yeah,
but then
like that's what they usually put it.
but then you find out that he's like super wholesome, like way more wholesome than any other main guy character from any romance shows. He's like just pure. He's like pure, dude. He's like so pure that like it kind of hurts me because how pure he is. Same with the girlfriend, because I kind of figured that the girl would be like would be kind of like judgmental or something at the very beginning, and then they slowly progress or something. I thought they were going to go that route when I first watched it, but I was surprised that the girl was very accepting of him as a person.
And so
yeah, she didn't really judge him by his looks or anything like that, and I think that's a very important message that or at least they need to do more of shows like that, because it shows that people like that, or people who are different, those aren't pretty boys, can find somebody to love, and they can find, or somebody can love them back just as much just for being themselves, and that's very important thing, because
do you think it's just, like there's more than just the outside, like it's about what's inside as well?
Well, obviously. Well, that's the most important, because like if you're gonna be with somebody, you want to be that with them because of their personality, because otherwise, why if it's pretty looks, it's only gonna last for some time, and for so long, and then what? You're just gonna like break it up.
I'm only going out with me because of my pretty look, so man, I could tell.
Wow. Like another show that's not really like, it's kind of like that in terms of concept, but it's like way different in terms of genre, is this one show called Excel World, where how do the little midget fat kid in the show I mean, am I wrong? Okay, I don't know why, but a lot of the Japanese people, from what I've heard, they don't like him as a character because he's not like tall and handsome or skinny or whatever. And the author made him this little short fat kid and stuff. And somehow he gets like the prettiest girl in the whole school or something. But the only reason
he's like strong or something, like because he's in the game.
Yeah, so basically the prettiest girl in school is only using him for his ability because he's a rare avatar. But later on, that's kind of how it becomes at first. But later on, it turns into like, okay, she slowly falls in love with him, and she's very tsundere in terms that she doesn't like to admit her own feelings, and she gets really mad if his best friend, which is a girl, like gets too close to him. And she gets mad because like, oh, why are you so close to her? It's like, fine, just go with him or go with her and stuff like that. And it's pretty funny, but it's made by the same creator who made Maru's most hated show, which is SAO.
Oh god, no, I automatically hate it now.
And it's really bad.
It's automatically hated now. Thanks very much.
But the thing, here's the thing.
Hellworld's a lot better.
Yeah. Okay. Here's the thing. I really do like Haru because he's the complete opposite of Kirito, and I think that's intentional. Because Kirito is this aka like attractive guy, perfect boy or whatever, but Haru is the complete opposite, which he isn't perfect.
A good comparison between them to show how opposite they are would be Kirito gets his ability to wield two swords because he has really good reflexes, while Haru has to learn new skills because he sort of can't do other things.
Yeah, and his ability comes from the fact that he's like insecure about himself.
Yeah,
and that he believes he's not better than anybody else. He thinks he's like trash or something, and because of that insecurity, the game gives him the ability to fly to oversee everybody else. So it's kind of like
But sadly, because Sword Art Online was animated first, I'm not sure, or just because it's more popular, whatever.
It's more popular.
Excel World just doesn't have the attention it deserves.
Which is bullshit, because that's BS, because I want them to continue the story, because it's actually better, but, it's whatever at this point.
Thing is, the SAO set up something similar where they're like, oh, hey, there are all these guilds in this game, and they're all, like, against each other, and that's a similar thing to what Excel World has. But then SAO decided, hey, let's abandon this game and go to another one.
Right? Yeah, exactly.
Wait, why would you think then that SAO is more popular than XL then?
Because there's this scene in SAO with Asuna and 2 purple aliens, and there's no scene like that in XL World.
Well, I think it's the element that, okay, this person is gonna die if he like gets killed in game. I think just that the concept that it by itself is what compelled a lot of people and what made it so popular, because it wasn't never before seen but in a show before. But in XL World, they don't do that. It's more like you get the ability to stop time, or your brain accelerates to super fast that you have like hyper reflexes in the real world. But the thing is, like, once you lose the like all your points or something, you lose that ability for forever. So nobody dies, but people take advantage of it, of that ability, in order to like do better in sports in real life, or like be smarter and all that kind of stuff. But I guess that concept of XL World wasn't good enough for other people.
For the weak.
Yeah. Plus the character design for Haru, little midget fat kid.
People would rather be Kirito than Haru.
Yeah, they don't want a slap of reality into their faces. So
dang, that's so dumb.
Yeah, but I think he gets a really good character development, so which is great compared to Kirito, which is like just flat.
Dude, Kirito's so freaking. He's sorry. I absolutely hate his character because he's so basic. He got no personality, bro. He. Oh my gosh.
The comparison between the two is like kind of relevant for this episode as well, because romance, like,
how the heck did it get into romance? By the way.
Oh yeah. In Sword Art Online, the main focus of it gets to be like Kirito and Asuna being together. Yeah, and then in XL World, it's never really like all about, hey, they have to be together. It's about like they're in this game.
I guess.
No, but actually, no. I okay. Here's my counter argument to that, Ducky. Okay, so in an SAO, you have this Chad Kirito, right? Initially, you're believed to think that Asuna and Kirito are a thing, or are going to be a thing, because of the love interest that builds up throughout the show. But midway through the show, it turns into a harem, which completely destroys the romance aspect of SAO. But in XL World, it's totally different, in a sense that Haru, even though he has a best friend that's a girl, and his mentor, which is the girl that likes him secretly, it's their love is mostly just her mentor, or his mentor, and him, and just the best friend girl that I guess starts to grow interest in Haru too. But it's not really. It's kind of weak in terms of that aspect, but it's not like he gets a harem or anything. Sure, there's other girl characters that like tease him and stuff, but they're not interested in like dating him or anything like that. Mostly just they're interested in him for his ability to fly and stuff in the game. But in XL World, there isn't really a harem in that show, which it's even better. So that show has more romance than SAO, in my opinion. But I don't know.
Imagine how dumb that would be if, like, someone asks you, like, you go to someone's wedding, they're like, hey, wait, what attracted you to him? And you're just like, oh, he can fly.
Yeah, he has little wings. Yeah.
That's so dumb.
Yeah.
And I'm still surprised, again, that SAOs are considered romance.
It's...
no, it's not considered romance, but it has quote unquote romance elements.
The romance genre.
Yeah,
but it's more harem than anything.
Considering for the anime list,
the later on in SAO it gets less like harem based. Like you see that they all just sort of see him as a friend, and then it shows him and Asuna a lot more like as a couple, and it's.
I guess didn't Atuna and Kiri, whatever his name is, didn't they get like married or something in the first season, like towards the end?
They did. They got married in the first game and had a child who was somehow this overpowered AI.
Yeah, no, see, I can't follow that. I'm sorry. That's way too much. I feel like their romance and the fact that they get married so soon within the first season, I feel like it's too rushed. And I feel like to me when I first watched SAO, I didn't really see any romance between Atuna and Kirito because like I didn't see them like actually like interested in each other like that. I saw them more as just like, you know, like companions in the form of like when it came down to fighting him or whatever. And like even that, they didn't really even like see each other very often and stuff like that. So it kind of just makes me think like where did the romance even start? Like what made it to the point where freaking Kirito was invited for tea and then Atuna just strips naked or whatever for this boy, and then like after that they're like, oh, let's go get married, boys. And it's like, what? It just feels so random to me. Like I feel like there wasn't really any development for that, and I don't know. I just feel
it's because Kirito got his arm cut off and then caught this really rare rabbit, and then she's like, "Hey, I'll cook the rabbit."
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of weird. It's, I mean, I'm not surprised considering that story has a lot of elements that needs to be told, so they wouldn't have like you know, development in terms of relationship stuff. That's why I guess that they just threw. It's like, okay, it's a harem now. Let's just throw these girls at Kirito now because people like that, right? I don't know.
I guess from what I've seen, there have been a lot of like harem kind of shows. So
yeah, but you know what? But you know what's a good show though that you guys probably haven't seen, but you should watch.
What is it?
It's a very very old show. It's called.
It's a show.
Yeah, it's called His and Her Circumstances.
Oh, you told me about that one. I haven't seen it though.
Time to pick it up.
Yeah, it's really funny. It's a very classic one. That and Peach Girl. I think Peach Girl has a lot of juicy drama. That's kind of why I like it. Because
a man of drama.
Yeah, because this one girl, Sai, is, oh my god, I'm sure if you watch Peach Girl, you'd get so mad, Maru.
I'm scared.
But you'd be like feisty about while watching
Dang,
it.
This is an old show.
Dude, probably knowing myself.
Yeah, it's a very like I have the whole box set of that show, but it's
you're trying to just like
make me and Maru.
Yeah.
What?
It finished in March 1999.
Yeah, it's a really good show though. I recommend it because it's one of those shows where it's like kind of like low key good, but people kind of dismiss it just because it looks old and stuff. I actually watched it when I was around 2009 or something, and even though it looked pretty old and stuff, it's like it has its own charm. Because I don't know what about old anime shows like from the 90s, but they have this aesthetic where the background is kind of washed out or something. But it's like it looks really good. Like, you know, like Experimental Lane, His and Her Circumstances, Digimon has that aesthetic as well. It's just it looks the
animation style.
Yeah, it's really it has that charm to it, and I really like it. So but aside from that, you know, it's a really good show.
Cool, it's on Amazon. I can't find it anywhere else.
I would.
On Amazon.
There's also I haven't seen that one yet, but one that I do recommend also that is it's like it's very interesting. I'd put it that way. It's called Relife, and basically like the beginning, like when you first start off the show and things like that, it's a little slow at first, but as you kind of like push through it within, I'd say like maybe like the third, fourth episode, like you start to kind of get used to it, and like the story is actually very interesting because it's basically like this 27-year-old guy who basically like has no job and things like that, so he gets approached by this random stranger on the street and basically tells him to join like their project. And basically what their project is that you take this pill which turns you into a high schooler for I think about a year or something like that. and like you get to like relive your whole life as a high schooler again. And basically like he takes this like so he ends up like taking in things like that, and he ends up like living through this whole thing. But the thing is like when you live through this stuff, at the end of it, all the people that you met basically have their memories wiped and they don't remember you at all. You're the only one who ends up having these memories. And the thing is like there's this person that he ends up like falling in love with. And the thing is like he's afraid to have them forget who he is, and he's afraid to like, you know, like have this memory of them and things like that. But it's a very like very interesting combination and things like that, because there's also something else at the end of the whole show that really makes you think like, oh shit, it's like you want to kind of know a little bit more like what happens after that. Which I don't remember if they actually have like any like second season or anything like that, because I remember I wanted to continue watching it.
They don't. I kind of stopped like halfway because I was reading the manga before it became an anime. It was pretty interesting. I kind of dropped it after a while, but it didn't get a second season.
I was waiting for it. I've been waiting for it since like for a couple years now.
Bruh, at this point, it's confirmed that it's never gonna get a second season.
Which is so sad, because like I really wanted to know more about like the ending and stuff like that. But
that's why you read the manga.
I guess. But yeah, basically, if I would just say like try out that anime if you haven't seen it, because it's actually fairly good, even if it's like a little slow at the start, but it's actually fairly interesting. So I'd say it's a good one.
It's an alright show, although it's not. I don't know about the romance in that show though. Because,
yeah, I was gonna say, I was like, it's not full on romance.
Yeah,
but
like, there's drama, I guess, but it's more like relationships building and stuff between characters rather than like actual romance, because you don't see like barely any romance in that show. So
I guess I would say it's like between him and the other girl, and like it's, I don't know, for me like, it's not like hardcore, but it's definitely like just a little bit. If you're not like super into romance stuff, I would say this is a fairly like decent one, because like it has very, very little. So there's that.
I have two romance shows I would like to recommend. The first one is one I enjoyed, but I haven't seen it for years, and I'm sure it's not the best, but I enjoyed it. It's called Plastic Memories, and basically it's about this world where there are like androids and humans, and the androids fall for the human. Well, no, they work with them, and then an android falls for a human, and a human falls for the android, and they get in a relationship, and then they find out that the androids have like a shelf life, so they sort of just die eventually.
Oh.
And
sounds familiar. I think I've. Is that a manga? I'm pretty sure it's.
Is this Detroit Become Human?
What?
Yes, Detroit Become Human, but it's an anime. It's a good show.
Yeah, like, I think I saw that around like as a manga somewhere, as I was browsing and stuff. I don't think I've ever seen that show though.
I recommend it. It's good. And then the other one I want to recommend is Suradura Children.
Oh, that's a really good one. That's like pure romance right there.
Yeah, and it's like a load of different stories in like kind of skits, I guess. And they all sort of, yeah, and it's good. In the point of life I watched it at, it was a very relatable show.
I have a lot of.
It's a good show.
Yeah, I agree with you, Ducky, on that. I have a lot of OTPs in that show because like it's so good. I think Maru, you've watched it, right? Do you remember?
Which show?
Zuda Children.
Zuda Children. Let me look it up.
Zuda Children.
How do you spell that?
I'll send a link.
But it's that one show where it has a lot of different couples, and that it's only like 10 minutes long each episode.
Oh, It's about those different, like, it goes into depth on each of the relationships and things like that, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I remember seeing some of it. It was kind of awkward to watch some of them because of the situations that they're basically going through.
Yeah.
And like they're discovering their feelings and stuff like that. And I'm just like, oh my god, like I'm just like, I don't know. It's just kind of embarrassing to watch.
I don't know. I
But
think
it
it's
is
really
pretty
good though.
too. Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, like I just get flustered because of some of the situations that they're in and things like that. Like the scene where like like the kids are like in their room and stuff and they're trying to get spicy and their mom and like his mom walks in and she's like, oh. She's like, I'm just gonna leave some snacks here for you guys, and I'm just like, oh my god, that's so embarrassing.
Yeah.
That's embarrassing. I'm just like, oh my god, I'm embarrassed for them. Kind of reminds me of that one other show that you showed that we were watching about the girls that were like
Wait, which one?
the ones that were trying to like read on why like so many people were doing the nasty and what was so good about it. And like they were just like the hormones and all that stuff.
Oh, are you talking about old maidens in their promise days?
Maybe.
Is that the one with the girl, the group girls that in the book club or whatever?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's old maidens. Yeah.
Okay, because like that's what it kind of makes me think of a little bit. That show is like so embarrassing.
I mean, I get it's supposed to be like, you know, I guess that show is mostly catered towards girls, I guess, to be hashtag relatable, but
educational program for young women.
Dude, I just ended up flustered the whole time. I couldn't continue watching it.
I think it's a very
it's good. I think it's good. It's just like,
yeah.
If you're an awkward person when it comes to topics like those, just know that you're probably going to be very flustered if you watch it with someone else. Because I was very flustered when I saw it with Jay.
Yeah.
But it is a good anime from what I've seen so far. So.
Okay, so we are talking about romance shows, and we're talking with the man himself, Jaden Days here. So we have to bring up the types of romance. So it's like it's tsundere, and since Jay's known for this, yandere, and that sort of stuff. So what do you think about those? Which is best and stuff like that?
Yes.
Because
best in terms of what though?
Okay, so Toradora is well known for being about tsundere. Yeah. Future Diary is well known for being about yandere. Which do you think is like the best representation of romance?
Well, see, here's the thing. Like they each have their own elements in terms of romance. I've noticed that when it comes to like yandere characters and stuff, a lot of those shows aren't really romance at all. It's more suspense thriller because that's what that kind of character archetype is associated with, as opposed to like, you know, like lovey-dovey and that kind of stuff. Although I do have to say the only one I can at the top of my head that has a yandere main character is or not the main character, but one of the heroines is a yandere is like Love Tyrant. That one's more of a comedy romance in a way. Little less romance, but it's I guess more of a comedy in a way. I don't know. But when it comes to tsundere stuff, I think tsunderes do get a lot of the romance spotlight than the yanderes for sure. That and I think it wasn't kudere, it was dere or something like that. I don't know. The one with like Hinata is like shy and stuff, like girls that are like very shy and stuff.
I think that's like kudere, yeah. I'm not sure.
Is that a kudere? I thought kudere was like the monotone girls that like
cold, blunt, and cynical. So yeah, that'll be the one that doesn't show emotion.
Yeah. I don't know. There's just so many deres. There's Maru dere.
Wait, I'm sorry. What?
Maru dere?
What is that supposed to mean?
Okay, Hinata is a dandere. So there you go.
Dandere.
Wait.
Yeah, it was dandere.
No one answered my question.
I'll look
Don't worry about it.
it.
But
Should I be worried? I feel like I should.
no, it's all good. But
Okay.
Dandere for sure gets a lot of romance show, or at least a lot of the Danderes are in romance shows. Although I've seen that Tsunderes is the most popular one in terms of having them as a romantic, you know, how would you say, not partner, but like
Interest.
Love
interest. Yeah. Because they're very like they say like bakken and they don't like you, but they hide their own feelings. So it makes for a good conflict within the story because it slowly brings them out, fleshes out the character. It's like having a donut with like filling inside of it. Like at first it looks like just like a regular donut, but once you take a bite, as it progresses, you get the sweet filling inside. Bruh. And that's pretty much what a tsundere. That's pretty much a tsundere right there because like the outside is like I don't know, crusty, I suppose, but the inside's like sweet and stuff, and that makes for good plot elements and stuff when telling a story. So I that's why I see a lot of like romance shows has a lot of them have tsunderes as the main love interest because of that. I'm sure
slowly like stop being tsunderes and start being normal people because
I mean
they adapt to their emotions.
Yeah, like
I'm trying to make these realistic.
I do have to say that the Horimiya, the one me and Maru watched.
The one we saw. Oh my god! Yes.
So when you said that, Ducky, it kind of reminded me of the main heroine character, or the love interest, or whatever, or I guess she would be the protag. No, she wouldn't be protag. It would be the guy who's protag. Actually, no. Would it be her? I feel like it's probably her.
I think it's her. I'm pretty sure it's her.
Because it's from her perspective, so...
Yeah.
But
so you still get a glimpse of his perspective.
Yeah. The protagonist of Horimiya is both of them.
Well, yes. I guess so, but it's mostly focused on her life, though.
It's short for Hori-san Tomiyamura-kun, so it's both of them.
Yeah. I don't know, but she's one of those characters, like you said, Ducky, that's normal. Or I guess she's more outgoing and stuff. She's like more accepting of other people, and she's like the nice character and stuff like that. So she doesn't really fall into any of the stereotypes in any kind of extreme way. So she's more leveled out and normal than most tropes. So that's probably a show that if you like those kind of characters in romance shows, then you should watch that because that's a really good one.
I think it'd be hard to make her like a specific like a stereotype since she's a protagonist of a show.
Yeah, well, I mean, some protagonists can be stereotypes too.
I'm not sure. I've never really bothered identifying a stereotype.
I don't know, but I love this show. It's funny. It's cute. I like it. And I wanted more, but they don't have any more. I'm so sad.
Yeah, I recently commented on one of Funimation's Instagram posts, like, dude, where's episode 4 of the dub?
This week they posted on Twitter or Facebook or something saying it's coming out this week.
The dub or just the sub? Pretty sure it's the sub.
I'm sure the sub's past episode 4 when they said episode 4 was coming out. So.
Well, I don't know because they haven't really been releasing a lot of the dubs lately. I'm sure it's because of the whole restriction. Pandemic. Probably one of their voice actors caught the bug. I don't know. The corona. Yeah. I don't know. But that's one good
for this show, though.
Yeah, that's one show I recommend as well because it's pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
okay.
I want the figures already.
Bruh.
I just want it. Okay, I'm sorry. It's just really cute.
Another good one actually is Sukete Inayo or Say I Love You. That's a really good one.
Oh yeah. We saw that one a little bit.
Yeah, I have the Blu-ray of that show. It's really good. Like I really like it. Mostly because the main guy of the show. He has a pretty cool hairstyle, and I really wish I could pull that off, but unfortunately I can't. So I'm kind of mad, but
you sound so disappointed.
I kind of am disappointed. I kind of want to have his hair, and it looks pretty cool, but like I feel like I'm already too old for that. So
there's no such thing.
You're only like what, 40?
Bruh, did you have you wow have you seen that one meme where it's like an old guy with emo hair or something? It's a pretty old meme.
Not. I want to see this though.
I'm sure if you like Google it or something, you can probably look it up.
This is a fun episode. First, Jay calls Harry a short, fat midget kid, and now Mari calls Jay a 40-year-old. Jeez.
Yeah. It's exhilarating. Get excited.
We were talking about romance, not comedy.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Oh, are we talking about this old guy? The one with the phone?
I don't know, I guess.
Or do you want me to look up old man emo hair to see what you're talking about?
I guess if you want to, I don't know.
Oh my, I found it. Yep, I found it.
Yeah, it's very old. It's from like 2014 or something, or 2010.
The old phone would support that statement because he's got like an iPhone 3.
Yeah.
Yep, that exact.
Is this you, Jay?
Yeah, totally. That's gonna be me in like a couple years.
Oh no!
Next week,
No.
aka next week in internet time.
Hold on, no. Let's not say silly things like that now.
Yeah, okay. I guess. What kind of what kind of romance shows are your favorite? Like in terms of do you like your romance? Okay, I guess my question is more like what kind of spice do you guys like your romance to have?
paprika.
Do you like a side of drama? Do you like a side of wholesomeness?
Mm-hmm.
Do you like a side of
like I guess my love story would be on the most wholesome side, while
oh heck yeah,
Peach Girl. Well, I'm pretty sure you guys haven't seen Peach Girl. Peach Girl would be on the most dramatic side with so much drama and all that kind of stuff, like so much tea and like, yes, sister, bye, sister. Cancel.
What's this voice?
That's from Meat Canyon. Meat Canyon. Have you
For
heard
those
of
of you who aren't cultured enough, no, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, wow, Ducky. I thought you would know.
Meat Canyon.
Yeah, you should.
It's like a video on like the beauty community. He does very good animation parodies.
Yes.
Yeah, according to Google Images, he did one of The Office, and I feel like I need to watch that.
Dude, his content's like legit.
No.
It's like great.
Yeah, it's pretty funny.
It's very legitness.
Of course it is.
Yeah.
Well, to answer your question though, personally, I can't do with the drama because it makes me way too freaking.
But that's that's the good thing though. That's a great thing though, because you get like exactly. It gets a reaction out of you. That's great. I love seeing you when you get like all feist up, like that one scene that when we were watching Horimiya, where she's like, "No, he's mine," and all that stuff, and you get like, "Yes, yes."
God, I still get riled up because of it. Oh my god, it's just so. Yes.
Exactly. See.
How have we had a romance episode without talking about Mari's other favorite show, Rent a Girlfriend?
Oh my god, do you really want me to go on with that? It's just as bad as freaking SAO. But no, it's even worse because it's with a simp and that one chick that's freaking a brat and she's just like, and then like the freaking simp and then poor Cheez-It got stuck in all this whole mess and oh my god, I can't.
Yeah.
There you go, guys. Watch Rent a Girlfriend.
Oh yeah, like totally. But like, yeah, like that's the great part about shows with drama though. Like I don't know, it's good. It's good.
Intense situations and the will they won't they suspense.
It gets you riled up. That's the beauty of drama. Though.
There is no other space.
No. The only way you could have me watch something filled with drama is if you put it without letting me know that it has drama. You know.
All right. I'll probably do that.
What have I done to myself?
I'll just tell you it's a very wholesome show and just have you watch it. And then see you get so riled up.
Oh God, please help me.
Tell her it's the second season of Real Life.
Oh
wow, that's just no. Don't lie to me like
Real Life
that.
with extra spice.
Okay. No, I'm good. But no, I'd say probably I prefer more like wholesome stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Because I mean, because like my love story like had lots of wholesome stuff, but it also kind of made me angry because of the ways like her friends and stuff acted towards him.
Mm-hmm.
But overall, like it's very wholesome, and I just I don't know, like some of the stuff in that show is just really funny too, because like I think her boyfriend ended up working at this like macho man cafe. So it's like instead of like being like a maid cafe, it's like these really buff dudes working at a cafe and stuff and serving people. And like his best friend ended up taking his girlfriend to the cafe and things like that, and she was like all flustered the whole time. And so was he, and I was like, oh my God, this is adorable. But yeah, it's very cute, and it has really silly moments like those, and it just makes you feel all nice and stuff. So I prefer nice.
But
and stuff
that's fine and all, but you gotta have that like intensity that no, she just did not do that to my girl. That kind of stuff.
That's the thing, though. Like, I'll be so mad. Like, I'll remember just randomly and be like, "No, I hate that show. I can't. I can't."
Wow.
Like, I don't like if you mention that show ever to me. Like, any show that we watch that ends up having drama like that. Like, I'll probably like I'll just go on a whole rant about how much I hate it, or like certain scenes from it and stuff like that. Like how I do with SAO. I just can't.
What about you, Dougie?
Okay. Well, first of all, I propose for a future episode we have an episode dedicated to Mario ranting, and secondly, for my interest in the romance genre, I don't know. I don't really have like a preference. Like, I like pretty much every romance show I've seen. Like, I'm yet to find a romance show I watch that I don't like, except like when I was a child, or not a child, but like a lot younger than I am now. I tried watching Clannad and didn't get into it, but I feel like I've matured, so if I try watching it now, I would enjoy it.
Mm-hmm.
But
I think you would like it.
I haven't actually seen like a romance show I didn't like because I like anything.
Yeah, but like, what makes what for you? What kind of spice does romance like have? Like,
how do you like to top your romance?
There are 3 levels to me watching a show. Level 1 is I'll watch like an episode every 2 weeks until I finish it because I'm not that interested. Level 2 is I'll watch like 12 episodes in a week, then forget it. And level 3 is I'll watch the entire show in a night. And the last show I remember having like level 3 for was quintuplets. And I don't know if you would like define that as romance, but I think it is because it shows at the end he marries someone. Yeah,
it's romance.
Spoilers, I won't say who.
What kind of spice does that one have?
I like the spice of having a mystery where it's like, it's like, who does this happen with, or how does it happen? What happens? You know, I like questions. I like needing answers.
I feel like in that case you're more like of a, for you it's a story that matters more than the drama or the, you know,
wholesomeness.
Yeah, it's like you need that good story in order to entice you to keep watching and stuff.
It's like for a good example would be for the past month I've been watching That Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime, and that's not a romance show, but it's an example for my like thing. Yeah, and I'll watch it because it's kind of casual. Like, you don't have to binge watch the whole thing. So like, if it's casual watching, I will watch it casually and I won't binge it. But if there's like a really intense story, I'll watch the entire thing in a night.
Yeah, so it's pretty much confirmed then. It's like it's the story.
It's canon.
Yeah. So you would watch like a story of a romance anime that's pure romance about a slime and a goblin?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. If it was a good story, I would. If it was a good story.
I thought I think Ducky, didn't you say you're? I don't know if you said this was a romance too, wasn't it? 5 centimeter or?
Yes, well, kind of. 5 centimeters per second is a Shinkai film, and it's kind of romance, but it's also far from romance, and it's sad.
I feel like it's more artistic
Yeah.
symbolism than anything.
It shows how romance isn't always where you expect it to be. Because like the protagonist likes the girl and then they lose contact, and then a girl likes him but he's still hung up on the first girl, and then he gets a girlfriend who he dumps, and then he thinks he sees her but she's not actually there, and he moves on, and then I start crying.
Isn't 5 centimeters, isn't that kind of like a compilation of different stories though?
Yeah, it's 3 different stories. Well, it's 3 like chapters of one story.
I feel like I would cry with that movie somehow. I don't know. I haven't seen it though, so
There is a single shot of a train just like getting between 2 people and damn right in the feels.
Oof.
I don't know. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say that I tried watching that movie and like I couldn't get past the first chapter just because of how boring it was. But I do say that it's beautifully animated and stuff because it's Shinkai. But
the last scene, the protagonist's last monologue, you can watch that on its own and it's still beautiful because of how it's worded and the visuals and the song that goes with it.
Mm-hmm. So, I would not be surprised at all. Yeah.
If you don't want to watch the whole movie, just watch that monologue.
Yeah, funny enough, I was able to watch Garden in the Woods, but not 5 centimeters, just because 5 centimeters was really slow. Yeah,
I watched the Garden of Woods recently, and it was strange.
Yeah, it was really strange.
I don't know how to describe the way it made me feel, honestly.
I think, and like I feel like a lot of the romance stuff doesn't really make people cry, except for clannad. Clannad made me cry. But it's not even because it's not. Well, maybe it is a bit on the. I can't say that. It is a little bit on the romance part because of certain scenes.
Well, but, it's more like the relationships within the show because the character development is really well done in that show compared to other shows.
Well, I mean, I cried during a certain scene, and I'm just I'm not gonna say which one it is, but it made me cry. I mean, many of them did, but I think that's the only show that's actually made me cry, though. An actual anime that's made me cry. I don't think there's ever been any other animes that have actually made me feel sad like that.
Yeah.
And a lot of the times animes, they are supposed to be sad or heart touching. I don't know. I feel like sometimes they don't really do it so well,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But yeah, it's, I don't know. If you want to cry, clannad's the one. So yeah, there you go.
Literally no other show, in my opinion, has ever made me cry 5 times while watching the entirety of season 2 of Clannad. Because it's just that it's just so good. The characters in that show is just wholesome and just funny, and you don't want to see them struggle through life and stuff, and it's just so, I don't know,
it's
so
a
charming.
Very good combination.
Yeah, because it's it doesn't really focus too much on the romance itself. It's more the relationships between the people around them and the bonds between the characters, as opposed to the drama or the romance side of things or that kind of stuff.
Yeah, it's very nice. It's a good story.
Yeah,
we still need to finish it. And I'm not ready to cry again.
Oof, yeah, we're halfway done with it at this point, I believe.
I think so.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So you watch it, Ducky, and you won't regret it. Everybody who's hearing this or watching this, I guess, on YouTube, I highly recommend. Please watch it because it's worth that score that you see on my anime list. There's a reason why it's scored so highly.
Yeah.
Because it's really good.
Mm-hmm.
And if you ask anybody in the anime community, what show I should watch that will make me cry, everybody's always gonna say Clannad, because that's just it's a staple. If you're an anime fan, it's a staple, and you have to watch it. Otherwise, you can't call yourself an anime fan. I'm gonna put it at that.
Once I'm done with this season, I'm gonna graduate from being a weeb. So
yeah, you're gonna officially be considered what's after weeb, an otaku.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll finally graduate and get my otaku diploma.
Yeah.
And my parents will be proud. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll host a graduation or something. No, but yeah, for sure it's a very good show. So yeah.
Mhm.
I think that's it, right?
I mean, I don't know. There's a lot of romance shows, but I think that's mainly the one that everybody should watch at least or give it a shot.
Yeah.
I do say that if you do consider watching it, that season 1 is kind of like slow. But it's a reason. There's a reason for that because it introduces you to the characters and you slowly get slowly like them. Yeah, get to know them and like them more. But season 2, that's where the shit goes down, and that's where you cry, and that's where you get your heart torn into pieces and all that good junk. But yeah,
I mean, yeah.
Yeah. What was that, Ducky?
The characters in season 1 of clannad, like other than the protagonist, are they the same characters?
What do you mean by that?
Like, okay, so the poster for season 1 has these 5 people, like 5 girls.
Yeah.
Are they on season 2?
Yeah, you'll see them in season 2.
Doesn't make sense. There's no way a group of friends stays together after high school. That's not a thing.
I mean, in Japan it is. So
that doesn't make sense. That does not make sense.
Sorry, doesn't exist in England.
Bruh. I don't know, but do you have any recommendations, Zaki?
No. I recommend the 2 I said earlier of Plastic Memories and Sure Dure Children. I mean, I can't think of anything off the top of my head.
Ducky's like Love is Dead, romance
wow.
is dead.
I am. You know that meme of Kaneki looking up from Tokyo Ghoul, just like pain. Yeah, it's me.
Bruh, that's so dumb.
I can see that.
There's a reason I made it an emote.
Bruh.
Wait, did you really?
Did you actually made an emote?
I did turn it into an emote.
Oh, nice. That's perfect. But yeah, I mean, other than that, do you guys have any anything else to say before we end the podcast?
Yes. I recommend everyone on this podcast goes and listens to another episode of this podcast.
Yes, me too.
Because I know a lot of people, or a few people anyway, who listen to random episodes and don't listen to every episode. Mm-hmm. And I think if you listen to every episode, we will get more character development in your eyes.
Will we though?
Yes.
I suppose. Maybe we have. I don't know. I can't tell.
What about you, Jay? Do you have any closing words?
Yeah, just watch clannad, and yeah, just write that off your bucket list. Otherwise, people are just gonna keep bothering you about not watching it. So,
you're like making a dig at me.
Yeah.
Yes.
What about you, Maru?
Me, I say get lit and watch clannad also.
Okay. Dude.
Don't actually get lit though. Don't set yourself on fire and don't smoke the
devil's
lettuce.
Yeah,
and if
totally.
you do, just be careful, kids.
If you do, make sure it's in a place where it's legal.
Bruh, yeah.
Yeah, that. Don't get caught, kids. Anyways, watch clannad for sure and keep watching our stuff.
All right,
yeah.
Do your thing, Ducky, as always.
Okay. Thanks for listening, guys. We hope you've enjoyed this episode. If you have anything to say, feel free to contact us on Instagram, Twitter, or I'm not going to say it this time, Facebook.
Right.
Or you can find us on anything you can listen to a podcast on, and YouTube on the Jade and Day Zero channel. Feel free to email us. It's anipop.podcast@gmail.com. And next week's episode, we will be talking about White Day and Valentine's Day.
Wait, White Day is next week?
White Day is next week.
Oh shit! Okay, nice.
So where's my
Interesting.
chocolate, Jay?
We have some Japanese history to talk about next week then.
Yes, nice.
Oh,
nice,
all the
nice.
weeds will love that.
Yes.
I have quite a bit for that too, so yes.
All
Look
right,
forward
cool.
to that.
All right. Well, that's it
Okay,
for this week's podcast, and bye.
Bye.
What are you still doing here? Get out of here. All right. See you guys.
Okay, yeah. Bye.
See ya.